record on this computer. I think we are active in that regards. Thank you guys for showing up this morning. I appreciate it. I want to show you where we're going right now as a company on our website and with our social media, and ways that we're looking to integrate it to increase our SEO. It's one of the strategies that I'm implementing because my goal is over this next year is to literally have the best real estate website in the Coachella Valley. And I figured one of the ways that we could strengthen up our internet presence is by strengthening up each of you on the site. So I'm making the agents page the first step for what I'm doing. And I'm calling this right now today, as you can see, social media saturation, because I want to make the best use of what each of you are doing, because each of you have a strong piece of the puzzle, okay, that you are implementing in one way or the other. And so let me show you a lot of these ideas that I'm going through right now. I'm getting from my most current readings. As you know, I read a lot. Okay, so I'm like simultaneously reading these three books, switching off between one chapter to another as I go through it. I'm nearly done with 2 out of 3 of these books, but I find that the Don't Make Me Think is a book on website design. Because when I first did those drawings that I did, if you saw on what I wanted our new website to look, the general feedback I got from everybody was it's too complicated. And while I understood its use and was looking to build kind of a Wikipedia of local real estate articles and stories and pictures and listings and all of that there and agents on it, I got to concede that it was complicated. And for the average internet user, it was probably a bit of overkill. So the book there by Steve Krug, Don't Make Me Think, really goes through philosophies of website design that makes it easy on the client to be able to engage with the website. And so as I'm going through this, I'm doing that. I also got feedback from our web builder that it simply can't be built, which I disagree with. I mean, Amazon is an amazingly difficult and complex website, and yet millions of people use it every day. Of course, I'm no Amazon, and I don't have $100 million to throw at the problem to solve it. So I got to work with our existing web designer, work with the people who give me feedback, work with Tracy, work with all of you. And so I'm trying to teach myself a little bit of WordPress design. And I'm not trying to do enough where I'm going to actually do the hands-on building, but to have realistic expectations of what a webmaster can do, I think is an important element for me as a manager and producer of this website. And lastly, SEO 2021, which is part of the real goal of what I'm trying to do. If I want to have the #1 local area real estate website, we need to make sure that we land as high in the rankings as we can organically. And then we might want to take a look at advertising beyond that. But first, make the best use of the overall construction and how we land, if you understand the phrase organically. Peggy Long just logged out and logging back in. So I'll give her 1 second. But all of this here, I'll tell you, you guys each bring a strength to the puzzle, okay, in this. So let's apply this to the agents page. So if you haven't looked at it lately, okay, the agents page has had just a very minor modification to it. If you've been to it at all in the last year or two, you might notice the difference, okay? #1 thing that we've tried to do, okay, is to update everybody's pictures, make sure that your bios don't have any typos in it, which is just a rebrushing over the page. But we have down here in the bottom of this, you'll see a couple of new buttons. Now, I had them change it. Oh, too much. There we go. I had them. This was the first one. Read Amato's bio was the same thing over here on it. They didn't quite get my full link of what I was doing. Read Anna's full bio, but I'm searching for the exact phraseology on a button, okay, that we're going to put down there. And what that does is that it takes you from the agent's bio to their Remax page. Okay, so that as we go here, you can show your listings, you can show your awards. It's by integrating our company website with each one of yours Remax.com bio, it should allow for a slight uptick in our overall rankings because the better the pages are linked, okay, to other pages. That's one of the things that Google looks when they categorize and rank pages. But also, many of you have more information on your Remax page, Remax.com page. Oh, wrong one. Than you do on your bio page with us. And while this is a good page, that one's better. So why not show you in the best possible light and provide linkage? Okay. Now, the next thing, and I'm going to slide over a new one that we're doing here, is this. Actually, I think I can show it better with this one. Okay, this here is a of what's to come. Okay, and I'm playing with the design. I don't know if we're going to go all across the bottom or if we'll go just to the right of your contact information. But what I'm looking to do is to integrate your social media. And I'm not trying to push you here to do more social media. It's just whatever it is that you are doing and whatever is your favorite social media that you use for real estate, because some people have a Facebook page and they only want to use it for family or political views or whatever else is going on in their lives. Some people use their social media and really integrate their real estate with it. Those are the ones that I'm looking to do. This I put up here just to show you the options of what I see amongst our agents. Each one of them are doing one or two or three of these. I don't know of anybody besides myself who could put all five of these in there. But definitely your Facebook page, your Facebook business page, your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, and your Nextdoor. It seems to be around those. I think one or two agents even has a Twitter page. Okay, but actually that's a very small percentage of us that do. And these should just be the pages that you're actively using. Okay, if you're going to really make a push for a new platform, absolutely, I'll include it. But I really want to make this more just what you're doing, because again, if we can link back and forth, if you're doing Instagram, say, if we can make sure that you have a link on your business page that goes to your Instagram, on your agent's profile page, I should say, that goes to your Instagram, that provides a link where the clients that land on our website can easily go to you and find out more about you and see if you're the type of agent that they would like to do business with. And usually this leads to a positive result. Okay, the more they can know about you, the more likely they are to like you. Because I think each of you try to put your best foot forward and show yourself in the best light. So it will ultimately end up, in earning a client. And by doing this here, if we can have a link back, okay, that comes to the page, which is an important element of this. At some point, we need to, in order to be fair, otherwise we're simply draining clients off the company website and we're not gaining that higher ranking that the company website can do. So in order for the Google indexing spiders to fully credit us with an elevated ranking, we do need to see somewhere on your pages a link coming back to the website. So keep that in mind as you're building it. It could be back to this exact same page. It can be anywhere within our website as we get it more built out to what shows you in the best light, and what part. Because as I go through this the next year, we're not going to just do the agents page. We're going to look for the selling page or the buying page, the careers page, the search page, our contact page, and then our social media wall that we have on it. And there will be additional pages built in. So if it's something that, like there may be a whole page on how to run a VRBO, or what are the rules on VRBOs for cities, or some specialty search pages, like if you're doing desert, or if you're doing just Palm Desert country, whatever it is, we'll have specialty pages as we get built out. So we're looking at better integration and saturation, okay, and how agents present themselves on the pages. somebody's got a dog barking in the background. Whoever does, could you mute your mic, please? Okay.
How do you mute the mic? I've been trying to figure that out.
There on your own computer, there is, I have a little microphone icon near the top bar. Okay.
Okay.
And it says mute on it. And if you click that, otherwise I can do it. But if I do it, then you can't undo it. So I would.
No problem. I'm just on my, on my
Okay.
phone. That's why I'm outside. Eric, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
With the social media, the next door, if the viewer clicks on one's next door link, that link is only available to those people in that next door neighborhood, isn't it?
Yes. It'll be to whoever's
Okay.
within your sphere of influence that you have in there. Yes. Nextdoor is allowing right now for agents to sponsor neighborhoods. I haven't checked into it largely, but that might allow you to create a business page within Nextdoor, and I think it's possible that that could be the link. But it is a new thing and a work in progress on that one. So
Got it.
yeah, so this here, and there is probably going to be one more link, okay, that I'm realizing as I've been working on this the last couple of days. Instead of just your Remax bio, some of you have your own website that you've built. And I believe that needs to be a button in here. The more that we can create options for the clients to see who you are in your real estate business, the better it is. And so we'll probably end up adding another button here, visit my website sort of button on that there. I mean, I think each of you needs to be and deserves to be shown in the best possible light. So that's really what I'm trying to do.
Here's one quick question. If we put the Remax site at the bottom of our signature page instead of our own website, we'd feed through Remax. And as you said, the more traffic we get on the Remax site, it helps everyone, right? But if somebody clicks on that Remax site on our own on our own signature, would they go to our page directly, or they'd have to then search for us once they're hit the Remax site?
They would. It's a good question, but they'd go to your page directly. For instance, like here where it says, we'll use Anna's, Beatrice here. If we click on hers, it takes you to Beatrice's profile page on Remax.com. So now, like here, Beatrice does not have a button where she should have a website button, so it brings people back to the company page if they want to do it. Or I might set it up so that, where'd it go? I might work with the web masters to produce the Remax page in a pop-up, so they never actually leave our site also, but they get a pop-up, and then if they want to go through that window for more Remax.com. But I'm not looking to take people permanently away from our site, simply to have them access more and more information about each of you. So that's kind of a design issue. So with that there, I want to go to the next step, okay, if we can. Which is what about integrating video, something I feel very strongly about. And for this here, I'll tell you, I've been trying to think on this, and if you've been following along with me at all, you'll know that I started up a YouTube personality and a YouTube channel, okay, on the on YouTube.com, where I call myself the Realtor Guy, and I do it for both recruiting and training, and then I also do it where I show houses. And what I'm seeing now, hi David, welcome aboard. What I'm seeing now that I've been doing this for, well, a long time, but for a good 6 months, okay, with the Realtor Guy personality, is that as much as I like to think I'm recruiting and training, it is the houses that is the star. Okay, and in reviewing last month's tracking numbers that we have on this, because we get analytics on YouTube for it, usually the houses are outshining me or outshining anything that I do personally on training or training or whatever. It's like 4 or 5 to 1. I mean, if I get a a dozen clicks on how to handle appraisals, we get 50 clicks on just a property for sale. And therefore, I've been trying to think, okay, well, what's the best use of that type of analytics, okay, on the videos? And what I think I want to try, I'm starting this week, is I want to go to your guys' listings, okay? And I'm going to ask you guys permission as I do it, and to make it easy on me to start off this new journey, okay, in integrating your guys' properties into the YouTube videos, is that I'm going to ask if you will meet me at your listing. I'm going to do my traditional walkthrough that I do of it. If you want to be on the video, you can. If you don't want to be on the video, you don't have to be. But as you know, I've got like over 3,000 Facebook friends these days. We're into the hundreds, okay, for likes on Remax.com and growing. I think we're getting closer to 400 on that now. We're inching over 400 on our YouTube channel. I'm at about 12,000 on LinkedIn. And Instagram, I don't know if it's 300 or 500, but it's again a growing statistic on there. So if you add all that together, we're in the 15,000 plus, moving closer to 20,000 online subscribers and followers that we have to all of our different platforms. And and my goal is to not, well, my goal is to help you guys sell your properties, help people recognize you as the best agents, as I know that you guys are. And so therefore, I'm going to kind of turn my marketing on its head a little bit, and let's highlight your homes. If homes are what the people want to see, let's highlight your homes, highlight your listings. And secondarily, because I am asking you to be there if you can, I would like to interview you guys, okay? And we find whatever is the prettiest part of the property where you're at. It could be outside by the pool, especially if it's got a view. It could be inside in the living room or just leaning up against the counters in the kitchen. Wherever is the best spot. And we do a couple of 2-minute to 5-minute segments where I pop a question regarding that property or about what you've done in your career, what's special about your marketing or your closing techniques, some special skill or knowledge that I know that you bring to the table. Okay, and if we do these in short little segments of 2 to 5 minutes, that's something that people would like. And moving forward, we can probably find places on your profiles or on your own YouTube channels or on your own Facebook or your websites. Once we start creating this new body of videos, the use of them is huge. I know in my own, I have gotten a handful of my clients to do testimonials like this. And new clients love to see the testimonials of the past clients. They also love to just hear you talk about who you are and what you do. And I know that this has been one of the biggest fears of the agents. So this is all permission-based. I may try to cajole you a little bit, but in the end, if you tell me no, I'll accept a no, and I'll still shoot your property. But I'm hoping that some of you will allow me to do this with you and to walk you through, much like an interviewer and a talk show host, while we're in that property. Let's talk about that property and who you are and what you're doing. And we'll make it short and quick and easy. And we'll post them, we'll share the links. And I think that you guys who do this will end up being pleasantly surprised about how well you present yourself. Because I see this in each of you. I do. And I hope that as a couple of us break the ice on this, that everybody will follow. But in the end, I will let you make the choice on that there. Any thoughts on that one?
Sounds good.
What's that?
It sounds good. I think also with those, when you go tour those houses, you could integrate one of your interview techniques for like a lender maybe that meets you at the house, and you say, if you're interested in, you know, financing this property, we have a lender here, and, you know, things like that, where you could integrate some of those other types of interviews into those house showings, you know, because you'd probably catch the audience that you've already got on a house showing. You catch, if you're getting 50 views on a house showing, you know, maybe 10 of those people would stay on for the second part of the interview that you're trying to do separately now, but not getting as many hits on.
You know, that's a good idea. As you say that, Emily, I think about some of the properties you're doing in Morongo Valley. And on those, many of them can have livestock on them and qualify for what's it called, an FDA loan? I'm trying to
No, they're
remember.
the USDA Rural Living Loan, which is for people that
USDA
earn,
loan.
yeah, for
Yeah,
people that
which-
earn under like $60,000. It's a 0% interest over 38 years.
It would
Or,
definitely
sorry,
be
it's
something
not,
that would, yeah.
it's not 0%, sorry, it's 0 down, and then like the interest rate is usually a few points lower than the standard conventional rate.
I would agree. I think that's worth doing, because what I'm trying to create is a website that is so information based that people click on things because it's fun. And if they're short
Right.
little videos, if we keep them 2 to 5 minutes, and that's a unique bit of information that would apply to some of the more rural property. I think Peggy Long probably has a few properties out there too. She's been taking some listings in the high desert in Joshua Tree and 29 Palms that would also qualify for that same thing.
Yeah, it's just the only problem right now with that is that the prices have jumped so much up there that the income to qualify, income isn't qualifying for that type of purchase. You know, that a purchase over, say, $350,000. So it's tricky for those loans right now, because things have just jumped like 25% in the past 4 months. Or more.
Whatever is the data, and if that means that the buyer has to be more unique in order to qualify it, that is important information, because we need to attract those specific buyers if they want that. And then, of course, a conventional loan, everybody can, but what even does a conventional loan look like? There are sometimes that if it's a primary property and it's got a dwelling on it, a conventional loan can be done with as little as 5%. You know, if it's a secondary or an investment property, you need the full 20%. And even getting that information out is important to some buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they could stay on and learn about how to finance a house.
Correct. Yeah. So, well, thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm about it and your questions.
Yeah, no, I think if you already have that traffic, you may as well try to grab, you know, a percentage of that traffic, as well as do them separately. But, you know, it gives you a little more beef or oomph for your dollar on that one.
Well, and I asked you guys to think about this element too. Where'd my picture go of the website? Here. This one. Okay. Because I'm really trying to generate leads. Okay, when we do this. Okay, but not just the leads that I count as an in-house lead. Okay, because you all know that I charge an extra 25% on those over and above our regular deal. But if somebody clicks on your bio and your contact information or your Instagram or whatever it is, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is that you're doing, and they contact you direct, that's not an in-house lead. So I'm really trying to position this where there is so much spillover, okay, that everybody gets a taste at your regular deals, you know, and that should be a motivating factor in those of you who really want to participate in this, because to not pay anything extra and to have your phone ring on that with a warm lead, because that's what it'll be. If somebody takes the time to look at your bio, to watch a video, to click on your social media, that's like 3 steps that they've immersed themselves in the essence of what is you. And I find that by the time people do something 3 times, they're in. Okay, they've emotionally bought in. If they didn't, they would have clicked away after the first one 90% of the time, and 50% of the time clicked away after the second time. By the third time, they're 85% in. Okay, and at that point, if your phone rings, the lead that's generated through this should be almost as good as a referral. Okay, because it's somebody who's already read about you, who's already watched you on a video, and then did something else, whether it's another short story, watched you hike with your dog, or whatever it is, that is that other lifestyle stuff that we mix into our profiles as we continue to build them out. So by the time they've done that, I'll tell you, it's a very warm phone call. And I used to get that level of phone calls as an agent with my YouTube videos. And I'm really trying to get our marketing efforts that I can bring to bear as your broker to layer over on top of what you're doing. And I don't care if they call you direct. As a matter of fact, I see high value in that. Number one, I don't have to call you and say, hey, are you available? I got a lead for you. Okay, which most of you have felt at least once or twice, okay, in your involvement with me. But if this is successful, even those will happen more. But if they just call you direct, it's great. I mean, the whole essence of this is you make more money, I make more money, we make more clients happy, we sell more properties, yada, yada, yada. It goes on and on. It's an endless cycle of benefit, mutual benefit. So I hope that you guys will work with me. I kind of got Maria heading up. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to interact with Maria Herrera here at the Palm Springs office, but she has really hit a point of being a very go-to person in regards to building the Booz websites. She has begun helping us understand the Booz CRM. She is doing the agent uplift reviews and some of the agent program implementation, okay, of what we're doing. And this is kind of the next step. I'm really trying to integrate several different platforms that we're all participating in one or two or three, marketing streams. I'm trying to integrate it more and more as a way to boost up everybody's connection and visibility online. And I think we're going to do it. It's just a process of time, and each connection is a one-step build. But over time, we end up having so many connections. It's kind of like when George Bush Sr. used to talk about that 1,000 points of light. Okay, so we're trying to do it as a real estate brokerage. So I think I just went through it all. Francisco just showed up. If he wanted to hang out, I'd go through it again for him. But at this point, I think I'm going to start repeating myself too.
No need to repeat. If you recorded it, just send it my way. I'm just struggling with the kids online learning this morning. So sorry, guys.
It's no problem. I understand that completely. So, David, you got a question?
I just want to say, since there's a couple people on here doing the Yucca Joshua Tree thing, I'm really trying to find a 4-bedroom right now for a client, at least 2,000 square feet. So if you hear of anything, please let me know.
Okay. I think we could all use one. It's good to ask that. I saw yesterday, Francisco put on to his Facebook page, looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a pool in La Quinta, Indio La Quinta, for under $500,000. He had about a dozen responses from people on his social media feed. And I'll say half of them were jokingly, yeah, I'd sell mine, but don't tell my wife, sort of thing, at there. But I think he had 2 or 3 people out of that was worth private messaging and seeing exactly what their thinking was. So I just thought it was a very good effort to do it.
It actually worked, Eric. It drew. I have a listing presentation because of that, and I put 2 people on a drip that want me to keep an eye on their neighborhood. So it just started a good conversation, and everyone has a magic number where I think they're willing to sell, and I did not expect that at all. But I guess I'm going to do it more often. Anytime I have a cash buyer, it seems to rattle people's cages.
But it made me think about, if you don't mind stealing your idea, because I thought that was a very good one, Francisco. What if in our business page and through all of my social media that I have, if I started posting needs and wants for agents, and just like David, you just brought up that high desert property, and maybe I should make a note of that here.
I missed that. I had a call from Peggy in the office. What was it about the high desert property? Is it okay if somebody repeats
Yeah,
that one?
David, repeat what you're looking for.
Oh, I'm just trying to find a 4-bedroom home for a client right now. Yucca Valley, Morongo Valley. She would do DHS also.
There's a good one in Yucca right now on 20 acres for 500,000.
How much?
It's a $500,000. What's her price point?
She was wanting to stay around 425, but you never know.
Yeah, but it's on 20 acres.
Yeah.
And in pristine, like right at the beginning of Yucca, if you go up Kickapoo and then you make a right and you backtrack towards Morongo, it's in this really beautiful kind of natural, old-fashioned part of Yucca with lots of trees.
Oh wow. Wow. I'll check it out. Thank you.
I'll try to find it for you. I'll shoot it over to you.
Nice. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's great interaction, Emily. Thank you for bringing that to the table.
I think I can find
I
it.
made a note as you were talking there, David, so I'll do it. I may put a post into our social media and just see what kind of response that we can generate out of that.
You know what, Eric? What also worked really well was that when I listed a few communities here in North Indio that had zero inventory. And I have buyers looking in these 3 neighborhoods. So I said, hey, Haciendas, Shadow Hills, and I think I put Desert Collections or something like zero inventory. And that created a few discussions too. Because friends that I know that live there, they, they'll DM you, they probably won't put it up on Facebook, but it's just, I guess it creates a call to action. And that's another one you can put on there too.
I'll make a note. Neighborhoods with no inventory. Okay, that's good. What I'm finding, we've been really delving into analytics with social media, okay, in the past couple of weeks here at the Palm Springs office. If that's something of interest to you, when you stop in sometime, I'll show you the board that we've created and some of our best postings that we've had, the interaction. And we're kind of using that as a benchmark. It's like, okay, if what we're finding is producing this level of results with this many subscribers and followers, what do we have to do and what does the next level look like, okay, for that? So those types of posts that you're talking about, Francisco, is something that we have not implemented yet. So we'll throw them into the mix and see how they work. I certainly like the response I saw on your Facebook yesterday with what you got out of it. I'm curious, Francisco, how many friends do you have on Facebook where you posted that?
I think I'm right around 1,200 friends on my personal page. And what I realized I should have done was post that on the business page and then share it on my personal page. That way I could have tracked it even better to see how much people actually clicked it or read the comments. But it was just on my personal page.
Hey, live and learn. It's okay. It was still a great posting, and 1,200 friends is very strong. The average Facebook user these days has between 300 and 400. And I find that many of our agents are at that or even less. So 1,200, you're better than the average bear. Okay, so there you are, guys. We've shared some good information today, and I really appreciate your help. If there's any last questions, going once, going twice.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm sending in the chat the info of that address to David. If you guys look at the chat.
I don't look at the chat often enough.
I had one question. Who from the office works on this side of the valley, like Indio, Coachella, Makita, Bermuda Dunes?
Peggy Long does. Whoops,
Peggy?
she just ran away from her camera. There she is. She's back.
Okay.
Peggy Long, she lives in Palm Desert or La Quinta, Indian Wells. I'm not sure where, but she's down out of the Indian Wells office mostly.
Got it. And Raquel Davalos, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Raquel Davalos, Chris Wilson, Rosa Rivera, Debbie Greif. I'm trying to think who all else.
I'll probably reach out to them, see if I can pick their brand on anything we have coming soon.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Since inventory is so tight everywhere, is there some way that when we get a listing as a company, that we can let everybody know, all the agents know before it goes into the MLS? That way we can do it both sides at Remax, plus gives us a little bit of an advantage in a tight market. So
The other Jeep's too heavy. The tires get on the carpet and won't slide.
just the thought of doing that, so in case,
Yeah, but in the carpet it won't work because it's too grippy.
Hey, Francisco, you got to mute yourself, or I'm going to mute you real quick. Arthur, I hear your question, and I have started up a closed group on Facebook that everybody is a part of. It's had some success of agents using it, but I will also say that I wish it was more. Why don't you guys get used to sending them to Maria at the front desk if you have something, and I will filter these. I want to make sure we're not just asking people, hey, I've got a refrigerator for sale or some cabinets in a garage. I don't want to turn it into a Craigslist type thing. But if there's some real value there with what people are asking, maybe we'll start doing a weekly or bi-weekly email. We'll see how often the news is interesting enough, and we'll send something out to all of our agents so they can see some activity of what we're all doing.
Yeah, just listings and needs and wants, basically. That I think would at least we keep it in the family here, and then especially now with listings just so few and far between now. So it's I got buyers, but nowhere to send them anywhere, to show them anything at this point. So it's real frustrating. So any way we can do it in the house to keep it in the family and keep it with Remax is just a thought before it goes out to the general public.
Okay. Well, again, send this stuff to Maria right now. I know that she is helping us with the Booz CRM. And the reason I bring that up is that you guys are going to start to see that we are going to be using that CRM to talk to each of you as the agents with Remax. With how that system works, we can run multiple databases at one time, whether it's a client or an agent or recruiting or a vendor or whatever it is. We're able to do what's called tagging people so that we can speak to you in groups with a bulk email. And from what I understand with it, once this system is really set up and we get used to the controls of this system, it becomes very easy to send out bulk emails. And so therefore, I'm hoping over this next month that it becomes very easy to notify each of you about a upcoming listing or a new listing or an awards lunch or whatever it is, so that we can just make communicating easier. So yes, I've been asked for that a number of times, started up the Facebook closed group page, but that does not have to be the end all. So start sending the stuff to Maria so she and I can see what it is and go over and figure out the best way to disseminate it to everybody. I think it's a good idea. Questions? More? Last time I said going once, somebody jumped in.
One more, Eric. In my previous office, we had a group message, text message, and I feel that's the fastest way to get a hold of anybody versus an email. And anytime we had it coming soon, we text the group, and we made sure that group text message was only business, and that was it, coming soon. And we'd give the office the opportunity of dibs, of sneak peeks. That worked really, really well. And on top of it, we would send the pictures of the previews to the group message. And we had an agreement that if I had a coming soon listing, anyone in the office could share it as a coming soon. And that way, it would generate leads for everybody. And a lot of the time we did keep it in-house because of that group message. But I don't know if everyone in our office is okay sharing their listings that way. I would always word it, an office listing. I wouldn't say my listing. That way, we're compliant and not stepping on people's toes. But it just would help spread our own office info through social media.
I appreciate. I have tried that. Just so you know, when we were at about 20 agents instead of 30, I did that, and what I found is that people replied all too often, and that within a day I had people saying opt off. How do I get off this chain? So I think as we continue to grow the text message, just there's too many of us that are not as interested in it. So I prefer to try the email for now, and
What about
we can make that work.
What about just having an office alert, which means that you look on the office bulletin board if you're interested in knowing what the query is or something, like just to check the bulletin board, new bulletin or something, and then you can go onto the bulletin board.
Is that
That way
different
it's
than
not-
doing the email that I'm talking about? Because I was imagining in the email, I would say, go to our Facebook closed group if you need more information on this,
Oh,
something like
no,
that.
I was just talking about the text message as an alert, because people are looking at their text. They look at their text more often than they do emails, and just it would come in and just say, check the bulletin board. So it wasn't like one where you would correspond back and forth. It was just an alert system.
I'm hesitant to layer in the text messages right now. I'll tell you because of the past results that we had with it. I'll keep it in mind, but let me try the email chain first. I think it's easier for people to look at it and click away without feeling hassled. And if that can work and we get enough people saying they'd like it, I'll address the text chain. I'm not saying
Okay.
absolutely no. I'm just asking to let me try this other one first. Okay. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your feedback and your input. I know it's hard when not everything is fully embraced right away, but I really do appreciate what you bring to the table. And I'll tell you, we couldn't have gotten to where we are without what every one of you brings. So thank you. Okay. Last chance. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Thank you very much for attending this Tuesday training, and I hope you found the information valuable. All right.
Thanks. Thanks, Eric.
I'll see you all around the desert.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.